Hi guys, we're going to start off our lesson for today. We're going to start off with our essential question, which is how do you graph a linear function in slope-intercept form? So looking at slope-intercept form, it's going to be y equals mx plus b. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my m and put a green circle around it. So m represents slope, and it tells us how we move. Next, I'm going to put a red star on my b value. That represents my y-intercept. And that tells us where we begin on the y-axis. So there's going to be a couple of steps when we're graphing a line from y equals mx plus b. You're going to do a couple of steps. So the first one is highlight the y-axis. So our y-axis goes up and down, the number. And then we're going to plot our b value. So again, our b value is a red star, and it's going to be 1. So I'm going to go on my number line, on my y-axis, I'm going to find 1 and plot it. There it is. Next, you're going to apply slope, which is your m value, from the b value. So my slope is going to be a green circle, which is -3. And that's going to tell me -3 over 1. We always want to make it a fraction. So when it's a negative number, you're going to move down. When it's a positive, we go up. The bottom number tells you if we go left or right. If it's a positive number, you're going to go to the right. If it's a negative number, we're going to the left. So I'm going to start where my y-intercept is, and I'm going to go down 3, 1, 2, 3, and to the right 1. So that's going to be my next point. You can do this one more time if you want. So 1, 2, 3, and 1 to the right. And there is my line. So next, just a quick review. Domain tells you how far to the left and right your line goes. And range is going to tell you how far up and how far down. So this line does not stop at any point. It's going to go forever to the left and forever to the right. So my domain is going to be negative infinity and positive infinity. Because then it's going to keep going forever to the left and forever to the right. Same thing with my range. It's going to keep going up forever and down forever. So my range is going to be negative infinity and positive infinity. Okay, so now we're going to start on a couple examples. So again, we're doing the same steps. We're going to graph the following linear functions. So our first step on example A is going to be highlight the y-axis, which is right here. Next, I'm going to plot my b value on the y-axis, and again, that's a red star. It's a 1, but this time is a -1. So on my y-axis, I'm going to go to the -1 and plot my b value. Next, I'm going to apply slope from the b value. My slope is 3. So in order to make it a fraction, I'm going to go 3 over 1. And this time, it's a positive 3. So I'm going to go up 3 and to the right 1. So from my b value, I'm going to go up 3, 1, 2, 3, and to the right 1. So there's my next. And we can do it one more time. 1, 2, 3, and to the right 1. So there's my number line. Okay, so let's try example B. Again, we're following the same steps. So step 1 is highlight the y-axis. And then we're going to find our b value. And we're going to put a red star over it. So my b value is 2. So I'm going to go to my number line and plot my b value. 1, 2, it's right there. And then I'm going to find my slope. So for this, it's already in a fraction. So it's negative 3 over 4. So negative means down, positive 4 is to the right. So from my b value, I'm going to go down 3, 1, 2, 3, and to the right 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. There is my next point. I'm going to connect it, and we're done with that problem. Okay, so now we're going to try example C. So again, we're going to start off by highlighting our y-axis. Next, we're going to find our b value. But if you notice something different, is this in y-intercept form? It's not, so we need to get it into y-intercept form. So what we're going to do is I need to get the y by itself. And in this case, it's very simple. I just need to take the 2x and move it to the next side. So if this is saying y plus 2x, the opposite of adding is subtracting. So I'm going to subtract 2x to both sides. That gets rid of it. I'm left with y on this side equals negative 2x plus 1. So now we can find our b value. So again, b value is a red star, which is 1. And I'm going to plot it on my y-intercept. It's right there. And then I'm going to apply slope. And slope is negative 2, which is negative 2 over 1, which is telling us to go down 2 and to the right 1. So from my b value, I'm going to go down 2, 1, 2, and to the right 1. There's my next value. We can try it again. 1, 2, and to the right 1. So connect the dots, and we're good. So next, let's try example D. Again, we're going to always start off by highlighting our y-axis. And again, with this example, it's not on y-intercept form. So I need to get the y by itself. So again, this one is negative 3x. So the opposite of subtracting 3x would be adding 3x to both sides. And that gets rid of it. And I bring down the 2y. You get 3x plus 6. We're not done because that 2 is still there and it's bothering the y, so I need to get rid of it. This is saying 2 times y. So the opposite of multiplying would be dividing. So I'm going to divide by 2. Now y is by itself. And you get 3 over 2x. 6 divided by 2 is 3. Okay, so now that we have it on y-intercept form, I'm going to find my b value, which is 3. So I'm going to go to my graph, to my y-axis, and I'm going to plot positive 3 right there. And then I'm going to apply slope. So positive 3 means up 3 and to the right 2. So 1, 2, 3, and to the right 2. 1, 2. There is my next point, and we connect, and we're done. Okay, so now we're going to reverse our thinking. We're given a graph, and we have to identify slope, which is the rate of change, and the y-intercept. Then write the equation for the slope. So again, remember, slope is where it crosses the y-axis. So for example, E, let's find our y-intercept. So our y-intercept is going to be in red. And we can see that it crosses at negative 1. So our y-intercept is negative 1. And now to find slope, you just need to find another point and then see how it moves. So y-intercept is one of our points. The next one that we can use is this one right here. And we can see that it goes down 2 and to the right 1. So when it goes down 2, it's a negative 2, and to the right is positive 1. So we got our two values, and that's what we need. So we know that it's going to be y equals, then we apply slope, negative 2 over 1, x, and our b value is negative 1. So let's try it one more time. We're going to look for our y-intercept on example F. So we see that it crosses the y-intercept at negative 2. So our y-intercept is going to be negative 2. And now we need to find one more point in order to find our slope, how it moves. So this is a good point. It goes up 1, 1, 2. So this is going to be a positive slope, so it's going to be a positive 2 over 1. So it's going to rise 1, and it moves to the right 2. So again, we're going to do y equals my slope 1 over 2, x, and our y-intercept is negative 2. So let's try now with example G. So we're looking, where does it cross the y-intercept? And if you can tell, it crosses right there, which is a positive 3. And we're going to look for another point. As you can tell, some of them are a little bit off the line, but the next one that is going to be a good point is going to be this one. So now I'm going to count to see. It's going down 1, 2, 3, and it's moving to the right 1, 2, 3, 4. So my slope is going to be moving down 3, which is negative 3, and to the right 4. So my equation would be y equals, and my slope is negative 3 over 4, x, and my y-intercept is positive 3. Okay, so now that we went through the lesson, I'm going to introduce the activity that we're going to be working on. Our activity is going to be a slope-intercept form project, or assessment if you like. So we're going to do a linear function that are useful to represent real-life situations that have a constant plus or minus pattern. For example, Patrick Starr, this little guy here, weighs 35 pounds and wants to lose 2 pounds every week. So that can be graphed on a number line. So what you're going to be doing with the partner is you will create a real-life situation that must include the following: a scenario, which is a story, a rate of change, which is your slope, a starting value, which is going to be your y-intercept, an equation in slope-intercept form that models the real-life scenario, and a graphical representation. Your assessment can be completed through the following presentation method. So you can do a PowerPoint presentation, a video, or a poster. So we're going to be working with this in class. If you have any questions, please contact me. Thank you guys.